The following is for entertainment purposes only. We are not financial advisors. We are not responsible for any losses, only the profits.
Are we ever collectively going to be able to get normal retail investors to believe in Golden Nugget? Maybe Rush Street, maybe DMYT or LCA, which one? Or both? I hope this video might even push them to get there. It might help you convince some of your friends too. This is still one of those absolute no-brainer buys. How can it not be? I've got a lot of proof. Let's dive on in. First thing we're going to take a look at is New Jersey online gambling since December 2013. It has increased. The higher the red gets, the more it's increased. Ever since this thing has started happening here, about around March, look what has happened. Online gambling has gone from like 50 million a month all the way up to, let's call it like 87 million. Which is that a lot? Is that like 35-40% up or something? Just absolutely crazy, right? Am I wrong? You got casino revenue and then poker, right? And this is just online. This is going to continue to increase. Just wait. I mean, there's still tons of people that have lived in areas like, I don't know, places where you can gamble, Indian reservation places, or even like Vegas or outside of Reno, places like that where they're used to being able to gamble. And since they've been closed, a lot of those people have just like quit gambling. And a lot of those still have not gotten iPads for Christmas yet. They still don't have a big screen to play with. Their kids might give them like a cell phone to try and use, and they don't like it. Why? Because it's hard to see. So until a lot of those people start getting big iPads and maybe big desktops, I think we're still going to get a big run on this, because a lot of the people still aren't on there. And once these things open up, it's still not going to ever be the same. I think this is going to be huge. It's going to continue to increase in a big way, which means more money if you're invested in it. So here's some more numbers. This is showing, and this just came out today, this is for August revenues. This is showing all the online casino revenues. And it's showing that Golden Nugget here has 31 million compared to the second highest, which would be Resource AC or DraftKings. You guys heard of them? And PokerStars. They've only done 16.8 million, where Golden Nugget, Betfair, Bet America, and SugarHouse, by the way, have done 31 million. That is almost 2x exactly what DraftKings and the rest have done. This is what I've been saying for a long time. Sports. What sports? Okay. Little tiny bit of the segment. I think like 6 to 9% of all gambling is on sports. The rest of it is on all the other stuff. So where's the big money? On the 96% of the people, not the little 5 to 7%. One cool thing though is if you're playing like SugarHouse here, which is the DMYT ticker, they have some sports stuff too. So you can not only get into the regular gambling, but you can get into the sports. Now, when I saw right here that Golden Nugget was paired with SugarHouse, I thought, why is that? And this might be not news to you, but it definitely was news to me today. I really haven't dove too far into SugarHouse. When SugarHouse came out from DMYT, it was just a no-brainer, take the money, push the chips in, yes, buy. Okay. When I saw the basics of what's going on, online gambling more, yes, please, I'll take a lot more. All right. But come to find out, check this out. SugarHouse Casino, playsugarhouse.com, launched quietly in September 2016. It became the third online casino to make use of the Golden Nugget's online gambling license. So they got online through Golden Nugget, joining Golden Nugget Casino and Betfair Casino. Rush Street Interactive New Jersey operates the online casino, which shares the same name as the brick and mortar casino in Philadelphia. So they have a brick and mortar of Rush Street. SugarHouse entered a mature and saturated New Jersey online casino industry, but the combination of its stellar proprietary platform, creative take on bonuses, extensive game library, and ties to industry leader Golden Nugget give the newcomer more than a fighting chance to establish a foothold in the market. This blew my mind. SugarHouse New Jersey also has an online sports book for Philadelphia online casino app. Check it out. So they launched with Gold Nugget. So when people make money with DMYT, Gold Nugget's getting a piece of that. Shortly after launching online betting in New Jersey, SugarHouse Sportsbook made the decision to cut ties with Gold Nugget and move its license over to Mammoth Park due to the Gold Nugget being restricted from offering NBA betting, National Basketball Association betting. SugarHouse Casino remains with Golden Nugget, but the sportsbook is now associated with Mammoth Park and is now able to book NBA wagers online. So they're still with Golden Nugget for the regular online casino-y stuff, right? The slots and the poker and all that. But they're with another company in order to do the sports betting. In May 2019, SugarHouse entered the Pennsylvania market to become the state's first legal mobile betting app. Our SugarHouse review will discuss the sportsbook and casino in depth as we consider sports betting options useful, features, game selection, interesting features, and more. We'll keep the opinion to a minimum as we focus on the facts. So this is from an article I pulled. So Einhorn is Finkel and Finkel is Einhorn again. Here's some more numbers. Golden Nugget, Atlantic City, monthly internet gross revenue report. This is showing here. So year-to-date internet gaming gross revenue is $209 million that they're pulling. This is just the Gold Nugget. In fact, last month they did $27.65 million worth of revenue, which is an increase from it's higher than the average, higher than the mean. So it's increasing. More and more people are going to it. Of course, people are getting bored, and people are getting kind of desperate, but they're not really yet. Just wait another 6 months. When people start getting really desperate, guess what are they going to do? Gambling more. Here's some more statistics. Total gaming revenue, $326 million for 2020. And over here we can take a look at internet gaming wins alone is at $597 million for August. $597 million. Sports wagering and revenue is $177 million out of that, which is still a lot. Okay, that's actually like, third, something like that. So lots of money coming in. And the other reason I like this play is everyone's already got the device to use it, other than the big iPads thing I'm talking about. But eventually you can still get those things, not iPads, but the Android versions, which can run a little bit better. You can get them for like an eighth of the price of an iPad. And I really think a lot of older generations are going to be asking for those for Christmas because they're funner. They can sit there on the couch and play them. They can play the slot machines while they're watching soap operas. Let's take a look at the charts. LCA, Dania Holdings. So if you're not on our Twitter, please get on there. I throw out last minute charts. It might help you out. I'm mainly doing it to show you maybe some entries or exits, like if something's looking ready to dip, I'm going to throw it up there, something we talked about, or if something's getting ready to pop, I'll put it up there too. So today I popped this one up there. We were at the bottom of this channel here that I drew in, and sure enough, what happened is we broke actually out of this bull flag a little bit, and that's where we ended today, which is a fantastic way to end it. It's still not totally confirmed if you ask me. If you're not in this, I would still kind of wait until you get above this other line here. We'd have to get about maybe 1775 before it's totally confirmed because it's just barely out of the channel. It could come back out and button hook like they like to do too, and then dip back down here and then zip up. But regardless, pay attention to these lines. And if you didn't know, I always put down in the description the link to my website where I have all this on there. So if you want to take a look at these charts and just keep them in your back pocket or just look over them for tomorrow morning, you can always just go to the website and check them out. So let's take a look at DMYT, SugarHouse Online Sportsbook. And if you don't know, by the way, these are both SPACs, Special Purpose Acquisitions Company, that are getting brought to the market and are pretty darn new on the stock market. And they haven't even fully converted yet either. They're both slated to end by the end of the year. Another thing I forgot to point out on this chart for LCA is see this monster red spike here of volume. That also tells you that a trend reverse has happened, because if you look back, dude, we haven't had a red that long by far in a long time, which usually tells you they ain't got no more juice left. Okay. They pulled it down as much as they could. That's their last that's their last hoorah. And now who's going to be in control? The bulls. So pay attention to that. And DMYT, this one is still getting like hardly any love compared to LCA. You can even see on the charts, just the volume is just so much more down compared to LCA, which is fine because it's still cheaper. You still get way less, okay? What I want to point out on this is, we're riding this channel up, we broke out, great. So what happened? It came out, we actually drew another sideways line here. We tagged it a couple times, and then it came back down. It smacked this line at 13.16 a couple times now, so I want you to pay attention to that. You want to see it continue to break north before you want to get in, but just watch this. It might try to consolidate here, or it might just break south or break north real fast, but pay attention to this line at 13.16, but that's where we ended the day. This was actually flying up. It actually hit like $13.60 today. These both have super low floats. Like this one's got 28.8 million shares. I believe LCA's only got like 35 million, so super duper low. Good time to get in. I don't see any, super volume that's happened other than the green going up, so we still haven't seen a confirmation of that. I still think these will both eventually kind of ride together a little bit. So keep that in mind. I do know that DKNG, the DraftKings, it is starting to run a little bit parallel with LCA. So if DraftKings is doing good, LCA will too, even though they barely have any sports betting on LCA, but it just is what it is. It's what the market's doing. It's how people have a computer set to run with it. Another one I want to take a look at, we'll get into some news here, is Insurance Acquisition Corp. You guys want me to do a full-on video on them? Ticker on that is INSU, if you're in the United States. So last Thursday or Friday, they came out with another SEC filing, and it basically said that the company must consummate a business combination from September 22nd. They had a vote to extend it to November 3rd. So we have till November 3rd now. So we got that out of the way. Also, there were no hints or talks about redeeming shares, which is awesome sauce. So, it didn't look like anyone was jumping out. So that's awesome. This one's running strong. This is the car one, like, buying cars online through Shift. Y'all done that before? Let me know in the comments. You want me to do a video? Let me know. Then the next one we're going to talk about is Fuse. I've done a video on them. If you haven't seen that, check it out. It's a very cool play. The guy who did something y'all might have heard of called the SPY, the S&P 500. The guy who did that, this is his special purpose acquisition company. How dope is that, right? So anyways, after hours on this thing, there was a $10 million Fuse common share buy. 10 million, someone just slapped it in. Why? Because it's sitting at the floor and it's the dude who invented the SPY. Why not, right? Like, again, one of those ones I talked about, like, it's a no-brainer thing. There's also 1.1 million volume after hours, which is monster. Where is this sitting? It's sitting literally like the floor. It can barely go down anymore because there's a floor in SPACs. It's sitting at like $9.85, which is nothing for a SPAC. I mean, worst case scenario, it might go down to what? $9.78. The whole market thinks. Next one we're going to talk about is HCAC Henny. Any Henny boys or girls still left out there? So we started getting some runs today, which is good in this scenario. So do you see what I see? Do you see anything? See anything cool? So this is the warrants. We had a nice ride up, man. I think they were up like, I don't even know, 15-20% or something. But they did the button hook thing. They went up and they kind of curled over a little bit, but then they consolidated a little bit. But look what happened at the bottom here. Remember what I was telling you up there? See this monster red line, longest we've had by far. There's one, back here on the 8th maybe, but this one's a lot longer. This is saying this is usually the end of a trend. When you get just a monster red, that usually means start of a different reverse. So kind of stopped itself. So I'm guessing we're going to continue north, technically. That's what this chart is telling me right now. As for lines, I mean, you might be able to watch one at like 290. You could probably draw a ray across there. And then the other lines I have across, you can check that out if you want. Commons. So we don't have a red line on the commons. We just have the big old thunder stick here, big green, jolly green giant. And the commons are just, they're going up. They still have that button hook like the warrants, but then they just zipped right back up. So they ended the day at $12.93. They actually broke $13 today, all-time highs. So that's great. Good for them. I could see this getting closer to merger at like, definitely above 15. Definitely closer to like 18 or something, especially if we can get some sort of brand attached to these batteries or the skateboards or something, like Fisker maybe, who knows, man. Or just, maybe Hyundai Kia really come out and release something else that ties it to them. Any sort of bigger news like that can just parabolic this thing, I think. People are finally starting to see the big picture. They took a little time to realize it's not just the bus, it's the whole skateboard, it's the whole cool Hyundai cars, it's everything else. Big picture, this thing is going to be monster. The only thing that does scare me, though, is that monthly payment thing I keep talking about, because I don't think they thought about it the full through, because how they're pitching it is that, unlike most people, we're not going to require anything down for our rental or lease or whatever they're calling it, subscription, okay? We're not going to require any money down. And people are like, great, but what they're not telling you is that's the main way that leases are pitched to people, is they pitch the monthly payment. Because people are pitched on monthly payment. That's how people are trained right now. It's all about monthly payment. When you see the Lexus or the Audi commercial, all they hear is 36 easy payments of $299 or $499 or $799. And then the very, very little bottom right, it says, with $8,000 cash due at signing. But they don't pay attention to that. They just pay attention to the monthly payment. So I think the problem with this, and what's scaring me, is if and when they finally do come out and say, okay, so yeah, no money down, but only $900 a month or something, I think people are going to be like, I think it's going to sell off like crazy. That's the only thing that's sketching me out about this. And I kind of want to wait till that happens, but same side, they could have totally talked about it that last seminar on Friday or Thursday or Wednesday last week, but they didn't. They hushed up the dude in the back. He hushed everyone. He's like, no, don't talk about it. Let's talk about something else, right? So I don't know. I'm just sketched out about that. So if I do jump back into this, I'm gonna write it slightly tight, stop loss, just in case that news comes out. But macro picture, once that gets out, I hope they finally start talking about you can put a down payment. With $5,000 down though, it'll do this, and pitch it that way. They need to go with the industry, because people are going to get scared off. BMRG, there's been tons of news out. This is the EOS battery storage play. I still think macro picture, this could be definitely huge, especially if California finally comes out and gets a contract out. Why I wanted to bring it up is because it's sitting at the bottom of this burrito here. I wrapped it up in this nice burrito sleeve, and it is sitting right at the bottom at 1034, which is so low. And so technically it's probably going to now break bull and start heading north again towards the green, right? Which would probably put us all the way close to 1085. So it looks like a good entry if you're already backed out of this or never even got in. If you want to get into this and you believe in it long term, I think this is probably a pretty good position to get in. This is sitting at the bottom of this channel. Could it still go lower? Yeah. But 65% plus of the times, it's probably going to now head back up. So just watch those burritos. Always watch the burritos. Here's insurance, the INSU from up there. So this is sitting at the top of this burrito channel that I drew in at 1291. We're just gonna have to watch this and see what it does. This is where it could break the green. If it breaks this green channel here, and the hot sauce starts coming out, the green sauce, the salsa verde, and hits 1320 or something, it could go straight bull and then start going to all-time highs and heading to 1475 again. I think this looks like a pretty good time to entry, but I'm gonna watch this one a little bit, see if we don't get another leg back down to follow it back and tag this red again. If it does tag the red again, it'd be a fantastic time to enter even more, but the tighter these get, the more likely they are to break either way, and this is already pretty darn tight for a bull flag. Watch that. If you're not in here and you see the macro picture you want in, might be a decent spot. Dude, same thing here. Check this out. So green power, GP stock. Y'all bag holding this one. Did y'all not put your stop loss in, your trailing stop loss? That's fine. I think long term this will be okay. But if you are out of it and you do want to get back in, dude, check out this channel that we got now. I'm surprised we got faked out. You know, we broke the burrito here. Sauce came out, zipped all the way up to 1755-ish, and then it came back down. But good thing is it's sitting down at this floor, and it 1, 2, 3, like 4, 5 tagged it today at 1433. You know, which is giving us this fantastic line ray that I drew in. This is all also 18.11% off of our other lineup here at about 1750. So what am I getting at? This got rejected a bunch of times at this line, which is telling us, and it's also at the bottom of a gap. You see this gap over here? So this is a very crucial line. It's got rejected a bunch of times. If you're looking to get in, this is probably a really good entry point, especially because we got confirmed it can go way above that. I mean, it's sitting low for what it is. If you want to get in, it's probably a pretty good time to get in. Could it still go south? Yes, obviously it could, but more than likely it's probably going to go north, and probably a good entry point as far as what the chart's telling us. Did I miss any other news today? I tried to grab everything I could. Did y'all see my battery video today, this morning, about that? Any other plays you guys want me to look at, put them down in the comments. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do it. What I really want is if you could spread this video around, maybe any other channels you're on, or any place where you or your friends hang out. Really appreciate it. Y'all have a good rest of Monday night. Take care.
Did you know that we give away free silver? Simply leave a comment on the video, and as long as you're in the continental United States, you can be automatically entered to win. Please friend us on Twitter and StockTwits.